Yes.
We got some exciting news.
Oh,
for
yeah.
I consider it an honor just to hold your hand. Who would have known that God had all this in his plans? Don't need no rabbit foot or clover to hold in my hands. You my good luck charm, you can say I'm a lucky man.
Yeah. Seems like it's time to get to the podcast.
Listen, follow us on all major platforms. Follow
I
us on
consider
all
it an
major
honor.
Yeah. Hey, everybody.
Just to
I am
hold
your
your
girl,
hand.
Neil, and this is my amazing
Who would have
husband,
known that God had
Rashaan
all this in
Conaway.
his
And we
plans?
are covered by
Don't need no
Conaway.
rabbit foot or clover to hold in my hands. You my good luck charm, you can say I'm a lucky man.
YouTube, yeah.
Yes.
So follow us on all major platforms, all of them, under Covered by Conaway. Hey everybody, I am your girl Meal. I am so sorry that we have already started this episode misbehaving, but we can't help it. It's what you get when you come to the mixer room. But I am your girl Meal. This is my amazing husband, Rashaan Conaway, and we are Covered
Conaway.
and we got something good to talk about today.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
So listen to me.
It's gonna get cold in here.
Or hot.
Either
One or
way.
the other. Anyway. So someone asked me the other day, what is a perfect relationship and how do you start it? They asked, how did we get here? What did we know or what happened that we knew we were supposed to be here? So before we jump into the episode, I like to at least know how you're doing. So I hope you've had a wonderful week.
Yes.
I hope you've had a wonderful day.
Oh, absolutely.
Have you
Absolutely.
had a wonderful day?
Mm-hmm.
He was so ready to talk about his discussion today.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about relationships.
Yes.
We're going to talk about the nitty gritty or the grit. So this may not be one of those podcasts that you want to take to your pastor, knowing that we are both pastors. But we're going to talk about something very, very, very important today.
How do you start a perfect relationship? Disclaimer. Can I do it or you do it?
You do it.
There's no such thing. There is no such thing.
Nah.
Let's just get that out there. Let's see. Okay. Let's see what we're trying to achieve. Let's see what we're trying to do. There's no such
a thing. No such a thing. So we've already said that. So don't be trying to sue us. Come for us. Don't be doing none of that because we're not telling you that there is a perfect relationship. So he simply told you just now, right?
There's no such thing.
They ain't now. But
I like that. They ain't now. so here it
trying to
is.
hate on my
But now you can do it in perfection, but there's no perfect
okay,
relationship.
I gotcha. You can
Okay.
do it in perfection.
Yes, that means I'm putting my best foot forward.
I gotcha.
I'm doing everything I can to do as much as I can to make this thing work, to make it happen. Yeah, you can do that.
You can, okay, all right. So we're going to try our best to talk to you about this thing. We're going to try to run through this thing. And we just want y'all to be in our conversation, okay?
Yes.
So we're giving you permission
Yes.
to eavesdrop.
Yes.
That's what we're doing. So I'm going to let you start.
And the
because-
reason why I say there's no such thing is, but you can do it in perfection, because here it is. There's a difference between covenant and convenience.
Wait, what?
There's a difference between covenant and convenience.
What does that mean and what is the difference?
Covenant comes with structure. Covenant comes with the idea that we're both understanding that we're finna enter into something
I got you.
that might not work in my favor.
Okay.
It might not be convenient for me.
Woo, that's deep.
One of the things I think, especially as men, we got to really understand that I can't say it the way old guy told me, because y'all would take my save card. But He said,
I won't let him.
So
I'll make him give it.
dads always got or husbands always gonna have that part where they become the a-hole because they got to establish. You know what I'm saying? They got to set the boundaries. They got to set the rules. But if you're not a rule setter, if you can't.
If you're not a rule setter.
Yeah. If it's all about me, if it's all about selfishly me and what I want and what I want and what I want, because this is some of the things that we misunderstand, especially as men going in a relationship. Okay, I'm the man, I'm the house. Hear me roar. I'm finna walk in here, and when I walk in here, everything goes my way. That is not why you have became the man of the house. You actually became the man of the house to be a support system for that's in the house.
So back to the forming the perfect relationship.
Yes.
So we've established that there is not one.
There is no.
We've also established that covenant means we're entering into something. We're entering into an agreement.
Yes.
That may or may not work in your favor.
Yes.
But there are certain boundaries that are going to be in the confines of this covenant.
Yes.
Convenience is I'm only doing it when I want to do it, how I want to do it, what I want.
Only benefits me.
So convenience is the selfish part of it.
When it's
covenant is dying to myself to go to something else, right?
Yes.
Knowing that it may or may not work out, but I'm going to do my part.
Yes.
To bring to the agreement, right?
Yes.
That's covenant versus convenience.
That's covenant versus convenience.
Both of these things we must know the difference in if we're going to establish a relationship, right? So it's not like a random thing we ask. You got to know what covenant is. You got to know what convenience is. So you'll understand the importance of this, me not operating just from a selfish place,
yes.
or me not operating out of a place of convenience, is because we are in a covenant together.
Yes.
So if you're not in a covenant, then it doesn't matter. But if you're in a covenant agreement, then that means I got to die to something.
You got to die.
I have to continually die because it's not a one-time thing.
Yes.
So it's not one time. You got to do it over and over. And then as we grow together, and as we become more together, then we learn different things about ourselves that we have to die to.
Yeah. And what makes covenant so powerful is simply this, is because it sets the boundary. It gives you a reference point. It gives you something to gauge by. Okay, now I understand the covenant me and you have between us. So when you're talking about a perfect relationship, you're talking about a perfect marriage, you're talking about a perfect togetherness here, the first thing you got to ask is yourself, and I have to ask you, and I think me and you had this conversation, what is the outcome we're looking for? What is our outcome? Because that's going to determine how we move in our covenant.
Yeah.
If we got two different outcomes, then we have to make sure that we have the same goals and the same likeness.
How you teach a person about an outcome? Like, how do you go into something knowing, like what, when you talk about a relationship, and I'll say, I mean, who thinks about an outcome? Like, who really does that?
Yeah. So that's why that's why it's
possible outcome.
But that's why it's so important that men understand you got to think more logical than you think emotional. Because here it is, when you're talking about an outcome, you got to ask yourself, what are the outcomes we're looking for our union being together? If it's going to be kids, then you have to prepare for kids.
Okay.
It ain't that I can have a hot girl summer or a hot boy summer and then talk about having a family, a unit in a family, because that's a selfish intent.
I got you.
Not saying you can't have fun, not saying you can't have different things, but you have to have the focus, the point of reference has to be
the outcome.
And it has to be mounted in the covenant. The covenant is, first of all, we're going to be loyal to one another. We're going to be upfront with one another. We're going to be forthcoming. We're going to be together.
That's right.
So that's our foundation.
That's our foundation.
We didn't say we're going to be together with anybody else. We said we're going to be together with us, right? So you have to work on that. It is about the covenant, not.
I guess the thing that I get caught up on, what I'm caught up on now, and other people might not, because they're probably way smarter than me. But I'm saying, if you're talking an outcome, you said we got to know the outcome. So if our outcome is kids, and then once we get kids, does the outcome change? So is the outcome forever going or forever advancing?
But what people don't realize, a covenant is a living document.
Okay.
A covenant don't stop. You continue to build on that covenant. Because what comes with kids, other things have to come with kids. Support has to come with kids.
Okay.
How are we going to support?
Okay.
Management has to come with kids. How are we going to manage? Conversation, deep conversation. How many are you going to communicate when we got kids in the house. Well, we're not going to let them see us fuss and argue. If we got issues with each other, we're not going to bring them into the middle of our discussion. And oftentimes that happens.
Yeah.
And that kills what the world assumed to be a perfect relationship. But it's not such thing.
So possible outcome could be we want to build legacy.
Yes.
We want to build this, because we'll talk about people who enter in marriages of convenience, but they're going into their marriage knowing an outcome. They're going into it knowing an outcome. They're not going into a marriage because I know one thing. When we were planning our wedding, it was so much work.
Yes.
Planning the wedding, right? So many people, the end of their outcome is their wedding day.
Yes.
And like they really and truly have not planned beyond the wedding day. So they have an amazing wedding. And then after the night that we consummate, it's like, what now?
Yes.
Like, what do we do now?
Yes.
So we go on vacation. We post all these beautiful pictures. We do all of these things that are only medicating what you don't have, what you have not outlined, right? So you're only medicating an issue.
Yes.
Because, and I say medicating because we did not develop an outline or an outcome.
So,
we didn't develop a plan for our marriage.
Exactly. So it goes back to that again, that sometimes our desires, we be thinking it's about our desires. When we start thinking about desires, we start thinking about what we want. It ain't the desires that's the problem. It's the direction.
Explain that.
It's the direction in what we go in. Now, what are you going to do to get the desires you want? Who are you going to put in a bad position in order to just so you can get what you want?
Oh,
Man, how many times have you done that? And how many times have she done that? Her mind was focused, or your mind was focused on just getting what you desired.
Yeah.
And you didn't care what happened or what it affected or who it hurt.
you just wanted what
You wanted the desires. So that goes back to what we said earlier, that it is not about convenience.
It's not about convenience.
It's never has been about. Perfect relationship is not about convenience. It's about covenant. What are we willing to go in covenant with, and what are the outcome we're looking for in this covenant?
So let's not use the word perfect relationship anymore. Let's throw that away.
Yeah.
Let's throw that out. So we're not going to use the word perfect relationship. We'll say relationship.
Yes.
Okay. So one thing that you were saying is the desire is not, we got to focus. It's not the desire, it's the direction.
It's the direction.
Because we will naturally mess up some junk.
It's been happening ever since we go into these.
And our desire screw up a direction.
Been happening every time.
Right. So we will do it. And one of the greatest ways, or the easiest ways, or the most well-known ways that we allow our desire to overpower our direction is through sex.
Yes.
And this is one of those things that we get questions about a lot.
So before we get that deep, you know, when we get to that point, let me just make it a little more plain about the directions and about the covenant and about why it matters and about the desires, because it's happened even in the beginning of time. That fruit looked good. That fruit smelled good to Eve. That fruit looked just as good and just as that Eve as it did to Adam, and the Adam as it did to Eve. That was a desire. They wanted that fruit. It ain't like they didn't know it.
Pretty. I know it was pretty.
But it was the covenant that supposed to have kept them.
Yeah.
But the directions got in the way of the covenant. So if they don't have that, they had the right directions. Don't do.
Or their desire got in the way.
Yeah, their desire. I'm sorry.
Their
desire got in the way of the directions. Because the directions were laid.
Simple. The direction was simple. Right? You did not have to go into some kind of big algebraic equation. The direction was simple. Now, we know that in the life that we live now, sometimes because of all the noise around us, we'll get directions all miscombobulated. Yes. But those directions were simple. Of every tree you want, you can have it.
But now,
don't eat this one.
But now the directions wouldn't have been a problem if they would have stayed with the covenant. Because the covenant was the focus point. That was the line of focus. That was our focus point. Yeah. That's what we need to go back to. Even when we desire what we desire, even when I wanted what I wanted out of you, I had to look at the whole focus point. Yes. What was our covenant? My covenant is to protect you, not to get what I want when I need to get it from you and then leave you high and dry. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So it was a give and take situation there. So we got to understand. We'll move on from this, but I wanted them to understand, really. I wanted you to understand that there was a difference And when you're talking about the directions in the covenant, you have to have the covenant in order to understand the direction before your desires get you in trouble.
Because your desires will get you in trouble, and your desires will cause you to miss out on the things that are purpose for you to have. And your desires, or not make you miss out, but they can slow it up, right?
Yes.
They can make it go so much slower than it should go. So one thing that I think about, as I was fixing to say a while ago, is sex, right?
Yeah.
Because we know that sex will derail some stuff.
Oh yeah.
There is nothing wrong with sex. Sex is a beautiful thing.
Yes.
Thank the good Lord for it.
So is sexual intimacy sin?
No, I'm going to go there. Sexual intimacy is not a sin. It is not. It is the total opposite of that.
God, I hear that.
Because God created it, and God did not create something to destroy us. But what happens is that desire will derail our direction. And whenever you put sex before the assignment, that's whenever it becomes a sin. Because it moves you out of your purpose. And anything that moves you out of your God-given purpose will cause you to sin.
Error.
That will cause you to error. And that's the thing. Sex is beautiful. And we had to make, earlier in our relationship, and I'm just going to keep it real with you. I did not have to touch you.
Right.
You did not have to kiss me.
Right.
You did not have to do any of those things for my body to react to you.
That's it.
It just happened.
Yes.
Right? That's just the chemical.
Absolutely.
We were chemically drawn to each other.
Absolutely.
I tried to not like this man. I tried. But it was like something just happened. It was like all neurons, right? Just went to fire. I can't help it. That's the real of it. I'm just going to keep it above.
Yeah.
The real of it is I was sexually attracted to you.
Likewise.
But my desire, I know you was a sexually attracted. You couldn't.
Don't tell me what that dress.
But yeah, we'll tell that one day later. The podcast is still too new. But one thing that I'm telling you is our desire. We wanted each other.
Yes.
But the desire could not derail the direction.
Yes, right.
It just could not.
That was founded in the covenant.
That was founded in the covenant. And whenever we entered covenant, and our covenant literally started. It did not start when we said I do in marriage in front of everybody.
Thank you.
Our covenant started when we said it's going to be me and you.
Yeah.
And we're not going to allow anything else to be in the confounds of what we are.
Yeah.
That was before you put a ring on my finger.
Yes. Oh,
that was before any of those things. It just magnified it when you put the engagement ring on my finger. And then it went to a whole nother level when we said I do in front of God and all of his people.
So when I had to do the Adam thing started this way before you even knew it started. It was something that you asked me, and you was Adam, and you went about. There was no nonsense. You wasn't playing.
What I said.
You were serious.
What I said.
You asked me the simple question is, what do you want with me?
Oh, I know.
What do you want with me?
What you want from me?
You asked that question. What do you want
what I
with
said, and then
me?
you go back to what I said was, what you want with me? Because I mean, you ain't getting none.
Yeah. Yeah. So what do you want?
Go ahead.
So my thing was, I just know what I felt, and I know what I seen, and I know what I heard in my heart with God. And my response was simply this: ask God. And if your covenant is sincere, and man, if your words are sincere about going into a relationship, about going into a marriage, about going into this thing with the next partner, then that has to be your foundation. Ask God. Because as long as I got a covenant with God, you'll have a covenant with me.
Yeah.
But as long as if the man does not have a covenant with God,
you don't really know what you're gonna get. So basically,
look how you saying it.
Sex is not sinful, and he could be a really good guy, but he's and not have a relationship with God. But in order for the outcome to be a God-given, purposeful outcome, there must be a relationship with God.
So sex is not a sin. We said that, but I'm really like our bishop. You know, I don't bring a knife to a gunfight. The reason why we say sex itself and intimacy is not a sin because that was something ordained from God. Why? Because he had a purpose for it.
He did.
He wanted you to replenish. He wanted
not
to
just
procreate.
an orgasm.
No, it was about purposing about.
Orgasm
Now,
so you can
now one of the guys asked me, say, "Why he made it so good?" Well, because if you didn't, you wouldn't have never replenished. You wouldn't do it. If it felt like sandpaper,
you wouldn't do it.
You were like, no, this too painful, man. I ain't doing that.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
But those pleasure sensories has to happen because of his covenant with mankind. Mankind was supposed to replenish the earth, and it's supposed to have been done under the covenant and the guidelines of him. But here's the problem is, if you don't understand your purpose, if you don't understand the order, if you don't understand the structure of God, then there go that word again that I can't pronounce. You are going to abuse what God has given you to use.
It is, I'll help you. It's inevitable that you will abuse what God has given you to use.
Yeah, and we have done it time and time again. Even as now has been interwoven in society, that it's okay to have all these different sex and partners and collecting bodies and collecting bodies and things of that nature. But every time you do that, then you tie yourself
to those people,
because it was an ordained. Sex was an ordained thing. Sex is an anointed thing.
It is anointed.
It's anointed.
Ooh, Heavenly Father.
It's the only time. Can I really get deep? Or can we do? We need to get off this and come back later. It's the only time when you're at that point that the scientists call it a climax or an orgasm, that nothing even matters in that split second.
That's right.
For that time duration of that intimacy, that's the first time that nothing in life matters. You're almost in another dimension and another plane.
You are literally helpless in that moment.
It don't matter who comes to see, who be around. When you in that moment, that's what I'm saying, that moment. That's why you know that is something to that. It was never meant to be abused.
It was never.
It was meant to be used. Yeah. So, brothers and sisters, stop saying, God, take the desire from me.
So you're saying, abuse, let's clarify that, because it is abuse when it's not in the confines of marriage.
That's right.
Yeah, when it's not in the confines of a covenant agreement.
So if I take a drill, a drill, the battle drill.
That's right.
And I take it and I start hammering nails with it. That was not what it was designed for. It was designed to drill, not to impact.
Yeah. It's funny that he talks about that when we're talking about sex, but go ahead.
Yeah, but it was meant to drive. It was meant to screw in and not to drive. You know what I'm saying? So because
no pun intended.
Because you use it for that, you have abused that product. So but I can't ask the tool manufacturer to replace that drill when I have
abused it. Because you missed it, you used it outside of what it was created for,
and he came back to warranty.
So we are in agreement that sex outside of marriage is abusing the product.
It's abusing the product. Does it happen? Yes,
absolutely.
Am I gonna ostracize you? Am I gonna criticize you?
Absolutely not.
Am I gonna condemn you? Are you on your way to hell? HE double hockey sticks? No.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that. That's not my place.
I got you.
My place is to love you through it.
So I think the thing that makes it that gets us all messed up is because we don't address the emotional intimacy before we get to the physical. Yes. We want to go straight to the physical.
Yes.
And I know we live in a microwave society now where everything is boom. Nobody's trying to crock pot anything, right? Nobody ain't trying to get up on Saturday and start cooking the meal so to be ready for Sunday. Yes. People don't really do that as much anymore. But we know that this thing we're talking about, sex, this is not just our premarital sex. This is not something that was just invented today, though.
Yes.
So this is not just an issue for today's time. But in today's time, it has been given such a space, even amongst Christians and believers, that it's okay to put the physical intimacy before the emotional.
Yes.
And it's not okay.
It's not okay.
So I'm telling you, I'm not saying we're not throwing you away, because listen, Ray and I have both been here.
Been there.
So we're not throwing you away. But all I'm telling you is when you understand better and when you understand the power of it, man, there was nothing in the world like that marriage night. Like our wedding night, there was nothing in the world like it. I promise you, it doesn't matter if you've had sex all the way up until the point that you listen to this podcast. I'm telling you, covenant sex is different. I say this all the time. There ain't no sex like marriage sex.
So before you go in deeper in that, I just want to back up just a minute, because you said something that was amazing about intimacy between the sexual intimacy, the physical and emotional intimacy. it's still today, it sort of throws me at how we cannot give a person our emotion, our truths. I can't tell him that I was abused. I can't tell him that I messed up. I can't tell him that I lost this. I can't tell him that somebody did something. I can't tell her that I've been in this situation. I can't tell her, but I can lay up with her.
My God.
But I can give him my body. So you can give them your body without giving them your story?
Yeah.
When I met you, what did the first thing I asked you?
Sis, what's your story?
I ain't want to know her body. I want to know her story.
Sis, what's your story?
I want to know who I was been about to get in covenant with. Yeah. Give me your story. Now, I ain't asked you to make up one. I'm asking you to give me you. And when you can get to a point where here it is, this now going into this working a relationship in perfection. I'm going to give you who I am. And I'm going to let you put the power back in your hand whether or not you want to rock with me or not.
That's right. That's right.
Don't give someone else.
That's right. Give them your truth.
Give them your truth.
And sadly, though, a lot of people don't know their truth. So one of the things that happened when you asked me that, when you said, sis, what is your story? I had to, for one, it throw me off because nobody had ever asked me that, right? People had taken what Millie can offer, whatever it is, like what qualities I've had, what they wanted the fruit of me, but they didn't really want to know what it was
roots
that made me who I was, the roots. There you go. But you asked me about my roots.
Absolutely.
And so when I went, that day I went home and I was like, wait a minute. He actually asked me about me. So then it challenged me to dig deep and to even see who I was, because I didn't want to give you a lie. I've done that already. That didn't work out. So the beauty of it is when we became friends and we were talking, we get to discover these things together and take these rides and all these things together. We learn so much about each other, and not just about each other, but about ourselves.
Yes.
And so you'll say a lot of times, I'm the female version of you. Yeah. You're the male version of me. And to us, that was intimacy. To us, that was as great of an orgasm as having sex, because I was able to give of myself, my whole self, my real self to you, and you gave so much to me. Yes. And as long as you've been on the planet Earth, and as long as I've been on the planet Earth, there are people that know us, but there are not people that know us like we know us.
So everybody has a story. Please know this. I know she's fine, bro. I know she got the curves like a Coca-Cola bottle. I know she moves like the waves of the ocean. And I know the hips, lips, and fingertips look good. And I know he's got broad shoulders. I know he's tall and he's beautiful. And he's like this and he's that and he's a great provider and he got all this. But they all got a story.
Yes.
Do not take their story from them.
Don't take the story.
To take the story is to take the power.
Yeah.
And to take the power is to take the ability to live in truth.
Yeah. And that's the thing. We take the story from people. We've allowed culture to distort what intimacy is. We've allowed culture to do that. We allow culture to pervert stuff. Yes. That's what happens, right? Whenever the enemy gets into stuff, we allow him to distort things that are beautiful. And we'll allow him to make things that were created for our good, even sex. Yes. But even before sex is intimacy, which is so powerful. Listen to me. It is, if a man gives you the rawness of what he is, allow him that space. Yes. Because that is a very powerful position when he puts his head in your lap. If he can put his head metaphorically in your lap, that is the most powerful position that a woman can ever hold. Because that says, I trust you. I value what you say. I value what you bring here. And this is a space that nobody else has. And that's where the real intimacy begins. So we can't call him soft. We can't say that he's too sensitive or he's too emotional, because he came to you and he gave you a place that nobody else has.
So why do the church avoid this conversation so much?
Do they? You're saying, so in essence, you're saying that the church does.
Why did not have the conversation about sex? Why is it such?
Well, they do have a conversation about sex, but they demonize.
No. I'm saying explaining it totally. Why they don't take that time to let the church know or let the people know what it is.
Don't get me started, because you know what I think about this.
Because it has always been through history. Sex has always caused a break or split up of some type of church, religion, or organization.
Why do you think? And then I'll tell you what I think.
One, just the cut and dry bottom line.
Please give it to me because it's all wrong here.
Because the very teacher themselves don't understand it. You can't teach something that you involved in and you don't quite understand it yourself. Yeah.
Or something you're afraid of.
Yeah.
Or something you've been taught.
And for a long time, let's not get it twisted, women did not have the rights they had centuries ago. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't have the voice. So a lot of that was about power.
Power, control.
And control.
Control.
Yeah.
Yeah. Power and control. And so that's one thing I'm telling you, as I talk to women, I always say there's no sex like marriage sex because I believe that, like for real. I've had sex that wasn't within the confines of marriage. I've had sex that was good sex before I got married. But there is nothing in the world like sex within the confines of marriage. It blows my mind how you got so many women who read 50 Shades of Grey. So many women who back in the days, that's a new version of it, but so many women who read the Danielle Steele magazines or things like that from back in the day. So many women that read the Zane magazines or the Zane books and all that from back in the day. Yeah. But they've been taught that sex is something that we demonize. We demonize it, right? But you'll have women in churches that done had 7 to 10 kids. Well, you're doing something.
Good Lord.
Right? Well, you're doing something. So I'm telling you, God did not give us these body parts and these bodily functions. He did not give us these hormones, or he did not give us all these things just to have when we're having children, yes, when we're procreating. Yeah. That was not just it, right? He wants you to enjoy sex. But you can only be taught about sex from women who are healed as it relates to sex. So if I was traumatized because of sex, maybe through molestation or through rape, maybe, through all these different things, or body shamed, or all of these different things, if I was made to feel like sex or anything attached to sex was wrong, then that's the way I'm going to teach you. Yes. So I'm going to teach you to just have sex with your husband when you're trying to have a baby. Or I'm going to tell you that, girl, don't never tell you, somebody told me this before, don't ever tell your husband no. So I went through my first marriage, and this is the honest to God's truth. I went through my first marriage, never saying no. And I wanted to always have sex, right? But it wasn't that I just wanted to have sex that much, but it was because I felt like that was the only time I could have his attention.
That's it.
And I wanted that attention. I craved that attention. And you'll have so many women and men who are promiscuous, who have all this casual sex, and it's not because they just like sex that much. I'm telling you.
Well, it goes back to culture too.
But a lot of it is because they want and need the attention. They're trying to fill a void.
So it goes back again, if we talk about now today's culture and all that, about how now we get a lot of reports where they talk about collecting bodies. And sadly to say, it's more ladies than almost just as much as it is women.
It's become that.
Yeah, but then they call it this. They empowers it by saying, I'm taking my power back.
My power back.
I'm taking my body back.
I own this.
I can do this. But do you not know? I'm telling you, every time you do that, you lose a part of yourself.
You lose a part of yourself.
There's no way. And here it is. It does not, at the end of the day, you just can't leave and walk away like most men have done in the past.
But really and truly, men can't either.
Yeah.
Now, I understand
Absolutely.
There is a difference. Yeah. But as it relates to the church, because I don't want us to lose that. Because that is a lot of what has happened.
Yes.
We misconstrue things. And we come from unhealed places. Like I was saying, I wanted the attention. Some people can say they're feeling a void of something else.
Yes.
Whatever it is. But a lot of times we got people that are teaching us these things that have not been healed. Yes. Right? So they're teaching you all this stuff from an unhealed space. So if I'm learning it from an unhealed space, there is no way for me to teach you how to overcome that if I myself have not overcome it.
Yes. And one of the things is I want you to understand too, men do have that kind of issues, have them kind of things going on.
They do.
And one of the things we had to try to live through is that the more you have sex, the more man you are. The more women you have, the more man you are. The more manly you are. The more, masculine you are.
Yeah.
Give me your body count. You can have a long list of body counts, and we give you high five, dude. But then a lady have a long list of body parts, and then she becomes something else.
Body counts, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's totally different. So culture has done that. And yes, society has done that to us. But man, it does take something from you every time you connect yourself with another.
Right, were you in that? Were you in? Because you know when I met you, I was like, oh, he the man, right? Because I've been told that before. So we say this is our space.
I thought that's what it was all about. Mm-hmm. And I could make excuses. Yeah. I could make excuses that I got hurt when I was in love with this young girl, and I thought she was gonna be the one, and she hurt me, and then all of a sudden I said, oh, you know what? I ain't getting that. I ain't here feeling that no more. I'm just gonna randomly go by and just start knocking them down. I could have used that excuse, and a lot of us do use that excuse.
That excuse at some point,
absolutely, absolutely, I did, and here it is. It was to my own detriment.
Yeah.
Because every time I lay with another lady, hear me, guys, it takes a little bit of more trust from our sisters. You cannot trust. Listen, girls, listen. One thing for sure you take away from a man is the feeling of security being with you, knowing that you have been through that many bodies. You can't. It's like what makes me special. It's another one. Yeah, because the most insecure creature it is, and people don't understand this. And guys, you might try to take my car, but this is a man.
Say that again.
One of the most insecure creatures it is a man. Once you take that from us, it's hard for us to give it back to you.
So and that's the reason why I said things that are personal, right?
Yeah.
Because one of the things that I believe is wrong with, as we're talking about why the church won't discuss it, is because they will not give us the real.
Yeah.
I'm not demonizing my ex. I'm not doing any of that. That's not my thing.
Yes.
That is not my goal, right?
Yes.
But I have to give you what is real. Because when you asked me and you said God told us to do this podcast, one thing I meant I was not going to do. Even when you asked me to be a part of this relationship, I said, I'm not going to do what's not real.
That's right.
I'm not operating from a fake place. I'm not doing it.
That's right.
So because the reason that many of us were damaged is because we have gotten information from people who operated in a fake place. So I'm not going to tell you that. I'm not going to tell you what is and it ain't. I'm not going to tell you what ain't and it is.
Yes.
So I'm telling you that we cannot give our bodies away and not lose something in it. But I'm also going to tell you that sex is a beautiful thing in the confounds of a marriage.
Yes.
But you must learn the power of it because there is power.
Yes.
There is power in intimacy. Just be stingy with it until it's time to not.
So it goes back to desire without direction.
You must have it.
You gotta have the desire. You gotta have directions in order to carry.
And you must know your purpose.
Yes.
To form your direction.
Gotta come back to that focus. Gotta come back point of reference.
Yeah, it all comes back. And if we are led by our purpose,
yes.
If we put our direction over our desires, if we understand that at the end of the day, emotional intimacy must come before physical intimacy, I promise you, life will be so much sweeter. There will be so much less we have to come back from. There will be so much less damage that we got to dig through.
Yes, because it's always tempting to unwrap the package before Christmas. It's always tempting to do that. And then when you drop that on it, that your partner saying, okay, we're going to abstain, we're going to try to chill out before that big date. Yeah. I understand it. I get it.
We've been down.
We're not here to demonize. We're not here to hurt
down. But we're gonna say that for another day.
But we're gonna walk through it.
We're gonna walk through it together. And we're gonna walk through it real. Because remember, this is the mixing room. All things are welcome here except inauthenticity.
Yes.
So we want you to join us again in the mixing room. And we're gonna go deeper into the things that concern us. Because whatever concerns us concerns God. So until we see you again, I'm Neil. This is my baby.
Hey, what's up?
And we want you guys to stay close, stay connected, stay covered. Be blessed.
Love you.